Hi fellow watch lovers, my name is Goran and I live in Sweden, and first of all, before I get into anything in this video, I want to apologize for my bad English. If it's bad, I don't know, I don't have a reference. This is my first time trying to make a video completely in English so that I could get this message out to the most people possible, and maybe I suck at it, maybe I'm quite good. I don't know, but I'm apologizing for any words that come out wrong or for the accent or whatever, but I'm trying my best. I wanted to make a video about why I think the Heuer Aquaracer GMT Pepsi and the Tudor Black Bay GMT Pepsi are the two best Pepsi GMTs out there. And that's my personal opinion. I know you probably love some other watch and regard that watch the best Pepsi GMT in the world, but these two are my best choices. When I started getting into the watch collecting hobby, I quickly found that I really loved the red and blue combination that's in a Pepsi watch. And since I started loving that color combination, I wanted to buy my first Pepsi. So I started off with a Seiko Paddy Turtle, and then I bought a Seiko Samurai, and then I bought an SKX, and those are fine watches, perfectly fine watches, but I wanted to have, you know, that little luxury feeling in a more high-end watch than a $500 watch. So I started looking around a little bit more. I went to a shop in Sweden, and the seller there, he had the new Rolex GMT Master 2 in the Pepsi, and I tried it on and it was too small. Too bad, but it was really too small. I have quite a large wrist. I have, I don't know what it's measured in inches, but in centimeters it's 20 centimeters across, around, and this Oris is 43, and I think my perfect size is at least 42 and at a maximum 44, and the Rolex was just too small. I tried it on and it looked like, on my wrist, it looked like a little lady's watch. So I know I couldn't buy the Rolex. And then I started Googling, like we all do, and I found Steinhardt. And Steinhardt, their homage watches, they look exactly like the Rolex, but they're really good quality, as I understood reading about them. So I ordered the Ocean One GMT Pepsi. I got it home and I really liked it, but still I didn't get that higher end luxury quality feeling. So I started Googling a little bit more, and I found Heuer Aquaracer GMT Pepsi. And now the Heuer brand, I understand, has had a lot of bad reputation in the past, and I think they're trying to build it up again and doing great watches again. And I couldn't find Heuer in a Swedish shop here in Sweden. We have Heuer shops, but I couldn't find the Pepsi GMT because it was sold out. So I took a chance, I ordered it, because here in Sweden we can order stuff from online and we have 14 days to return them if we don't like them, even expensive watches. I ordered it and I got it home and I loved it. It was like the perfect Pepsi GMT for me, and I'll tell you why when we look at the watches. But then I couldn't resist, I couldn't stop thinking about the Tudor, because I saw a lot of videos on YouTube about it. It looked great, but it was maybe too small because it's 41 millimeters, and but it was so praised, and it was said to be the big surprise of Bezel World 2018, and I just had to get it and had to try it on, and if I didn't like it, I could put that thought to rest and I didn't have to think about it anymore. So I ordered it, and I really thought I was gonna think it's, for the first, too small, and that I wasn't going to like the red and blue combination on that particular model, because the blue is much darker than other blues, especially compared to the Tag Heuer, and the red is kind of like a burgundy red, and I didn't think I'd like the combination that much, but I loved it. I had it in the box for a couple of days. I was hell-bent on sending it back, but I just couldn't stop looking at it, and I couldn't stop trying it on, and in the end I loved it. So now I have two Pepsi GMTs that are quite similar, but in other ways they're really different from each other, and I'm gonna try to tell you why. So I hope you find this video entertaining and maybe you get something out of it. I don't know. I just gotta make this video because I love these two watches so much that I can't sell any one of them or send one back, and now I'm stuck with two similarly looking watches, but I'm gonna try and tell you why. So let's take a look at the watches and let's see what we learn. And here we have it, the Tudor Black Bay GMT. The watch I thought I was gonna return, but I started to love. I mean, look at it. Look at the bracelet. It's half the watch. That clasp with the incorporated Tudor shield is the most beautiful clasp I've ever worn. I really adore this watch. And here's my hand holding a branch for some reason. It's a cloudy, misty day here in Sweden. Look at the second hand. It's smooth sweep. The crown with the Tudor rose, oversized and without crown guards. It feels retro, but it feels solid in the same breath. And this watch is by far the most comfortable watch I have ever worn. It doesn't feel like I have it on my wrist when I have it. And that's strange because, it's not strange, it's subjective, but Cristiano from TGV, who is my idol in watches, he thought it was too big, too top heavy, and 50 millimeters from lug to lug. But I think it's absolutely perfect for my 20 centimeters wrist. I really adore this watch. And here you see the bezel, how it shifts from really dark blue, almost black like a Coke in some lights and Pepsi in other lights. The clasp and the lock, I really adore this clasp. Look at it. The one negative thing is the case back. No specific details. I really like when watches have elaborated case backs, but you can't get it all. It's a really misty, gloomy day in Sweden. And here we have the Tag Heuer Aquaracer GMT. A totally different beast. When you look at it, it just pops. I mean, look at the colors. Bright blue, bright red, and that dial, waffled black dial. The bracelet, a little bit sturdier, heavier, thicker, with the clasp lock, with the Tag Heuer logo. This watch has a presence that the Tudor doesn't have, because the Tudor is quite a bit more sublime, but the Aquaracer screams, look at me. I mean, come on, I can't really take my eyes off it when I have it on. Some of you may think it's a little bit too much, it's a little bit too in your face, and maybe it is, but I love the feel that this watch gives me. It's a sporty version of the GMT, and it's completely doing its own thing. It's not trying to copy Rolex or any other Pepsi watch. It's so unique in its look, in my eyes. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe there are other watches that have this specific look, but I haven't seen them, and it's the perfect size, even though you can feel this watch on your wrist in a totally different way than from the Tudor. Okay guys, so here we have them, the Tag Heuer and the Tudor. neck to neck. Open up that one. Let's open up this one. And let's take a little look at the differences between these gorgeous Pepsi GMTs. Let's start with the Tag Heuer. What I really loved about this watch when I got it home is that it's still a Pepsi and it's a GMT, but it's quite different from any other Pepsi GMTs that I've had my hands on. The bezel has this octagon shaped. You see, instead of the round bezel like they always usually do have, this has lines and it's like an octagon shape. And then the dial is, I think it's called a waffle dial. It gives it a little dimension, a little more depth. And the I don't know, what's that called? It's a fisheye enlarger, date enlarger. I really forgot the word right now, but when this watch came, I really loved it, and I still love it. It's 43 millimeters, fits my wrist perfectly. I really like the bracelet, even though it has push pins instead of screws, which I really don't understand because it's a fairly expensive watch. I don't know how much it costs in the US, but in Sweden and most of Europe it's like $2,800 maybe. In euro it's about 2,500 euros. But still, nevertheless, I love the bracelet. I love these, I think it's a push clasp. Open it up. It says Tag Heuer on the inside. Little brushed steel feeling. And I love the bracelet. It's sturdy, it's fat, and it's quite impressive on the wrist. It doesn't feel too fat when you wear it. And yeah, I love the caliber 7 text being in red, matching the GMT hand. And yeah, and when you take a look at the Tudor over here, let me pick that one up. This is the thing with the Tudor. I thought it was going to be too small, and it's right there on the border of being too small for me and just perfectly sized. The bezel, I thought it would be too dark of a blue and too burgundy of a red, but the really great thing about this is, like I've seen other people say in a lot of YouTube videos, the blue in certain lights and certain rooms and certain kind of shades looks almost black, like a Coke black. But then when you shine the light straight to it, and now we have a pretty cloudy day here in Sweden, but if it's a sunny, bright day, it really pops like bright blue. And I love the burgundy red. And then let's talk about this bracelet. The bracelet is a little bit thinner than on the Heuer. It's a riveted bracelet. I think it's supposed to be a retro inspired watch. That's why they chose to have the rivets here. But the clasp, oh, the clasp, I almost love this clasp as much as I love the rest of the watch. I think it's pretty cool that you a detail like the Tudor shield, you take that detail and you prolong it, you know, and you take it all the way to the clasp where you also have the Tudor shield, and it continues down here, the shield, bottom of the shield. It's really great when you look at it like this. And I really love this watch, but they're two really different watches. On the one hand, the Tag is sporty, and somehow it feels a little more, I don't know, fresh, if you understand what I'm trying to say. A little bit modern, a little bit of an more special take, more doing their own thing. And if you wear this on a sunny day, maybe on the beach, I don't know, but never going to town with your friends, you want to have some fun. It's a fun watch. The colors pop. A modern and fun take on the Pepsi. And the Tudor, on the other hand, is a really elegant retro take on the Pepsi. It really, when I wear it, I feel like it's an old watch, even if it's not. There are no crown guards. That enhances the retro feel, and it feels like a more sophisticated watch than the more sporty Tag Heuer. So these are two very similar watches. You see, it's they both have black dials, both are Pepsi, both are GMT, both GMT hands are red, both have white hour and minute hands, even though this has a snowflake shape, and I don't know what these are called, batons maybe. And the hour markings are round on the Tudor. On the Tag Heuer they are baton shaped, but they look so similar, but still they look so different. And that's why I decided that I really had to keep them both, because I can't possibly think about selling one or the other, because I love them in such different ways. This makes me feel more elegant and sophisticated. This makes me feel more sporty and I don't know, happy-go-lucky. And I know that probably the Tudor is the better watch. It has an in-house movement, and I think, yeah, it costs like 1,000 euros more than the Tag. So I probably think, as a watch, the Tudor is better. But who today wears watches only based on how good they are at showing the time? Because if we did that, we would all be wearing quartz watches. They give you the most perfect time you can have, or atomic watches, or like a cell phone. You wear watches because they make you feel good, and these two watches make me feel perfectly good in two totally different ways. So I hope you liked this peek at the two most perfect Pepsi GMTs in my eyes, and maybe you're gonna run away and buy one of them. I don't know. I hope I didn't do too bad of a job with the English, and I hope if you like this video, maybe I can do something like this again. Maybe do a little review of my Carl Brashear. Sure, there are a lot of reviews out there, but hey, I don't know if you've seen one from a Swedish guy with bad English. So have a nice day, my friends. See you later. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you the Loom. Here we have the Tag Heuer, and you can see it's a combination of blue and greens, and it's a perfectly good Loom. This is the Tudor with only green, bright and nice. And I have to say that when comparing these two, I think that the Tag Heuer has a brighter Loom, but the Tudor lasts longer. The Tudor lasts all night without a problem. So I hope you liked this video, and if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down or write me a comment, and I will try to do better the next time. This is not a professional video. I'm not a Tristiano or Federico or the time teller. This is my first video. I just wanted to show you my love and appreciation for these two Pepsi GMTs. It took me a long time to find the perfect watch, and when I did, I found two. So I just had to share the love and admiration I have for these two brands and for these two perfect watches in my personal opinion. I know there are a lot of better watches out there. Tudor and Tag Heuer are not the best brands in the world, not the most expensive, not the most luxurious, but they are perfect for me. And this is just an example of how a more expensive watch like the Rolex just doesn't fit me for one reason or the other, and why sometimes a less expensive option is perfect for you. So I just wanted to thank Tristiano, because he's been a real inspiration for me, and Federico from Federico Talks Watches, and I hope you liked this video. See you the next time. Bye.